my goodness. Hello, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Overfear and Morris and Button and Dumb Not Dumber and Lindsay and Resilient and Greek. Hello, Moonface. Kayla, hello. Mediocrity, hello. Thank you so much for returning as a channel member, mate. Good day. Enjoy your emojis. Mare, Alyssa, Juice, 48, Tinkerbell, Liz, Really Me, Anna. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on where you are on this beautiful planet. Thank you so much for joining me for yet another ad hoc live stream. Happy Friday from Down Under. Happy Thursday on the other side of the planet. I hope you're having a great day. Sorry, I wasn't here. I wasn't available last night. I had a pottery class. Ooh. It was really fun. I learned, I've never done pottery before. And there was a wheel, and I got to throw it down, and then I got to, scoop it up and then push it down. Then scoop it up and then push it down. Then scoop it up and push it down. Then I got it centered. And then I made a cute little bowl. And then I made a cute... What else did I make? I made a bowl. I made another kind of bowl-ish receptacle. Just practicing on a whole heap of bowls. But I was really proud. Anyway, it was really fun. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. But I got clay absolutely everywhere. And I was very tired by the end of the day. So that's what I did with my day yesterday. How about you? What did you guys do? Anyway, so today I've got a spare hour this morning. I don't have my vessels here. They're currently drying. But once the vessels have vesseled, I will certainly show them to you. Absolutely. What was I going to say? So, I've only got a short amount of time this morning, so I thought we'd jump on in and watch Foodie Beauty's latest upload, which is only 18 minutes, so that should last about an hour. It was uploaded 2 hours ago. It's entitled, I Let My Husband Control Me. And I've watched the first 4 minutes or so of it, and I thought, nah, I've got to take this to stream. I'm not doing this alone. I'm absolutely not watching this solo. So, did Ambi and Tommy inspire me? No, not really. I did think of that, sadly, when, no, but see, Tommy was doing I think Tommy had the air dry clay. We just had regular clay. We had a spinning wheel, and I had to ram horn it, whatever it's called, when you have to kind of knead it out to get all the air bubbles out of it and make sure it's nice and firm and grippable, and then throw it down and pull it up, and throw it down and pull it up. I had so much fun. It was so much fun. It was a really good time. I enjoyed getting my hands on some clay. It was fun. It was really good. Had the movie Ghost Clay. No, I didn't. No, but it was just really fun. It was a really nice day. Anyway, we're gonna get over into watching. It was firm and grippable. It was firm and grippable, and then I sadly, it's such a fickle beast. Clay is, because I the first couple of times I threw it down, I'd break the top half off, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess we'll start again, and then on my third attempt to make a vessel, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna make a cute little key dish. I'm like, okay, great, no, that's looking good, and then I'd keep snapping off, and I'd keep remaking the dish, but smaller and smaller and smaller, until I made it wasn't even a dish, it was just a teeny tiny vase for a ant. It was so small, and then that broke, and I was like, oh well, that was a good use of 20 minutes. Speaking of good uses of 20 minutes, hi, my name's Zach. Lovely to meet you if you're new, and thank you very much for returning if you are coming back. I'm not a mental or physical healthcare professional, just a guy who loves to make talks about things on the internet, watches way too much of too many people. I'm also not here to bully, shame, hate, harass, or humiliate, just here to talk about the produced and monetized content that we see here on this platform, because it's all about what choices about what we say, choices about what we put on the internet. Choices. MB, thank you for the super chat, love. MB says, I seem to have acquired a huntsman to my person. Oh, he's just kind of chilling and I'm not sure what to do. I've named him Bruce. Well, Bruce is going to run around and look after all of the nasty bugs that might try to infiltrate. Bruce is your new bestie Bruce. I'm happy for you, MB. That's great. He's more afraid of you than you are of him. He's gonna vibe in a corner, and then he's gonna go hide somewhere, and you'll never see him again. And he'll just eat all the nasty bugs. Bestie Bruce. Okay, let's get started on I Let My Husband Control Me, which is a very interesting title. And we're starting in classic foodie fashion with a foodie intro. And oh, no, there definitely is a cameo in this one. We're just going to watch it at 1.25. I can't. No one's settling for regular speed. No one's got the time. Come on. Chantel's crazy. Well...
Hello, Foodie Beauties.
Hello.
Hi, we
You're so loud today.
interrupt this program for a special announcement. Get a cameo from me today and don't delay.
I don't know if anyone's keeping track of the cameo sales. Are the cameos still on sale? Are they still budget cameos? You let me know.
Sing happy birthday or tell me what.
Okay, this... Wait, how do we do the heart? Is it kind of like this, right? Oh, no. Do you guys know the word munted? It's munted heart. This is the heart. This is a circle. Wait, isn't it a church and a steeple? Yeah. I don't know. Chantal's not good at shapes.
You want? I'm like burger.
She's making a potato head. Not munted. Hey, nearest fuzzy.
King, you can have it your way. Cameos make great gifts and you can keep them forever and ever. Bye.
I love how, like, over her ownness she is in the cameo ads. Like, watching her face through all of this. What's the word? Not pedantic. Not sarcastic. Petulant, maybe. It's almost like sarcastic. It's like she's nodding along to the cameo script extremely sarcastically. It's so funny. Well, she doesn't even do that, but...
Cameos make great gifts and you can keep them forever and ever.
Sardonic. That's a good word. You're right. That's a good word.
Bye.
Do you think she can cross her fingers? No. No, I don't.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to another video.
Hello, and now you're audio balanced, so we're going to have to mess with it on our end. Thank you so much. Hey, DX.
So, I hope you're all doing well.
Look, I'm doing great. I went to a clay making class yesterday. It was a really good time. What else did I do? I slept really well. My shoulder kind of hurts, but, you know, that's whatever.
The title of my video was probably a bit shocking for you guys. I do plan on explaining what I mean by that.
Well, amazing. Thank you for the... God, I'm gonna be so mouthy today. Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging the fact that the title that you titled this video is somewhat clickbaity, possibly concerning or problematic. And secondly, thank you for the first 41 minutes of saying, you guys, I know you're probably surprised by the title that I made this video, but, you know, in this 18-minute and 48-second video, I'll be talking about why I titled it. Girl, get to the point! No one's got the time. I mean, I'm making the time. I'm also making more time by complaining. And that's okay, because it's just what I do.
How I let my husband control me. First, I just want to say that just a little bit of an update with how I'm doing. For those of you who don't know,
ask her how she's doing, and she'll lie and say she's fine.
I suffer from binge eating disorder and food addiction. And
hey, quick question just before we get too deep into that: are you engaged with mental or physical healthcare professionals to like manage, work on, assist any of that, like relationship with foodie kind of stuff? Relationship with foodie, woof. No? Huh, that's weird.
And I...
Also, how's Julia? Spade? No? Okay.
Have been this way for as long as I can remember in my life, you know, even as a kid.
One of Chantal's first memories is her first bag of chips. That's really enough to tell most people Chantal's history with her relationship with food. But that's where I won't say that's where it starts, and I'm certainly not a professional. Please don't listen to me. But yeah, Chantal's got quite a hard relationship with food. There's a lot of like boredom in Chantal's life and comfort that is missing from Chantal's life and coping mechanisms that are missing from Chantal's life, and she's a very angry person. She's a very hateful person, and she could work on any of those things and try to address them with professionals, but doesn't. And so everything kind of defaults down to where is my comfort, where is my happy place, and that's usually with cheese in her mouth. So I mean, I could say it much nicer, but Chantel's a terrible monster, so I'm just gonna be pretty blatant about it all.
I was always obsessed with food in a very unhealthy way. I would, use food for comfort. That developed into using food for comfort, and food has just always been the main focus center of my life. And
I there will be a bit of like me speak in this stream as well, I feel, because I have my own hard relationship with food. And girl, I gotta tell ya, like hitting that moment where you realize there's so much more to life than like concerns about food, or like just like for me it was acknowledging the fact that I get bored very easily, and being able to find things to do and entertain my hands and my mouth and and my brain really helped, because it meant that, because I went from smoking, like I always had a hard relationship with food, but when I quit smoking, I realized that was what I was doing with my time. I was just like, oh, let me like make a little snack. Let me like, oh God, I'm so angry and frustrated at 2:00 in the morning. And that was all a lot of life stuff, not just quitting cigarettes. But I realized that's what I was starting to use as kind of a crutch and a coping mechanism. And I'd done that kind of when I was a kid. Like I was angry and just really frustrated all the time, and that sucked. But I would be, that would kind of be where my comfort lay. It was in like, oh, this is tasty. Oh, what a treat. Oh, a snack, whatever. So that relationship never really looked good for me. And then when I quit smoking and at high like stress periods in my life, that would definitely come back into play. Maturing was realizing that like there's a big wide world out there, and I'm in control of all of the things that I do. So if I'm bored, and like COVID was like a really good time for me to acknowledge all of that stuff, because like suddenly I just had all of this time to fill, and the entire world kind of shut down. So I realized like, oh, there's so many hobbies and so many like interests and so many things that I could be doing with my time that isn't just like days of stress and then nights of comfort eating. I could change all of that. And I did. And Chantel has been in this position for such a long time, and it's so disappointing. And I know my expectation shouldn't be high because it's Chantel and she's a terrible monster. But Chantel, like, lives her life on YouTube. She doesn't have to do anything except for make maybe a video or a live stream a day. And she's got so much more access to time and resources and income than a lot of other people do. And it's just a big shame that she didn't decide over the last 6 years to try to like navigate through that and like, I don't want to say fix, but find better ways of managing her boredom, stress, comfort, blah, 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 blah. But again, not a professional. Maybe she should speak to one. She could also use all of her time to do that. But no, instead we're here.
Have a lot of food noise in my head. It's just always food. You know, what am I going to eat next? Just always thinking about food, obsessing about food. So I have talked about this ad nauseum on my channel, and I probably will continue to talk about, some of my
Shannon, you got the reference? Stuff. I'm glad. The reference to this stream is a Miley Cyrus song. Thank you for thank you for catching that.
Like that. So, but so far I'm on a winning streak, just doing well. I'm actually really happy with the little accomplishments I've been making. So, some of those accomplishments are just I haven't binged in a while now, and
okay, so she says this again. I'm gonna need help with timelines here, because she was still eating potato corner up until she was a day out from Thailand. So she's been back in Kuwait for 3 days or 4 days. This is very much expected from Health Arc Marie, where she finds the smallest of wins and speaks about them as if she's not a professional, but she's experienced this for a long time. Okay, Chantal. She's also sitting here saying that she's feeling anxious and this, that, and the other, which could be a whole list of, like, physical, like, ailments coming up to bear. But it also kind of, like, if she is feeling anxious and not eating as much and her blood sugars are low, like, that's also a big thing to kind of consider.
Well, a while for me is, like, probably a few days. Like, since time.
Every hour binge-free is so hard, so I consider a few days a long time. Okay.
And anyways, since being back home. In Thailand, I ordered a lot, and I did have some... there were some times where, I would be alone and...
Personally, for me, I wouldn't be acting as if this were a major victory after being so sick, right? She was super sick in Thailand. She was kind of, again, that anxious, anxiety, sickness, whatever the hell she was trying to convey, has all been sitting there even after she got back to Kuwait. So, girl, if you consider this a victory, great, no worries. Maybe take that energy and apply it to getting assistance so that you can take, like, a few days and make it a few months. Because that would be more beneficial to your situation. But whatever. Leander, hello. Lovely to see you. Good morning. Thank you for the super chat.
Just watching a movie or whatever in the hotel, and I would order out again on top of having had supper and stuff like that. And then I would order snacks or go to the 7-Eleven and have snacks. And I realized, left to my own devices, being in private, I was able to just do whatever I wanted to, and was also able to hide things from my husband, who's
and from your audience
concerned about my health and my eating disorder. I will also say that this is new for him. He's a a person who doesn't have issues with food at all.
Just as a note, Poopy and Chantal will have been in a relationship for 2 years towards the end of this month. 2 years.
They eat to live, and they don't think about food after they've eaten. They're good. They don't think about their next meal after that. So
I'm going to say this pretty blatantly. Some of my best and healthiest relationships have been extremely transparent and open about relationships with food pretty early on. Like, pretty early on. And that's not in a, like, oh, let me, like, dump this on a person so that they can take care of me, or they can look after me, or they can, like, as Chantal is alluding to in this vlog, control me. And I'm not saying my relationship with food looks anything like Chantal's. There are glimmers of similarity, but it's not nearly like this. But I think it's really important that when you're in a healthy, respectful relationship, if your partner does understand your relationship with food, they're able to help. They're able to make conscious choices. They're able to, like, approach it in a way that is respectful and not necessarily like, because I can imagine worse relationships I've been in could have been worse if that person had been disrespectful to things like me saying, like, oh, I just don't keep bread in the house. Like, and that's not a big deal, but that one statement can often kind of open the door to, like, oh, why is that? Here's the floodgates, mama. Like, here it all is. And for the most part, like, it's not really a big deal. And I don't really ask much of the other person outside of, like, understand that, like, if we have a bag of shredded cheese in the house, it's probably going to disappear in 3 days. Why is that? I really like cheese. I really like cheese, and I make a conscious effort not to keep it in the house. So if I do buy some, it's probably going to be a small portion. We're going to use it for dinner or whatever. But it's just something that I don't like to keep in the house. So I don't understand how this is still new to Poopy. Something in my eye. I don't understand how this is still new to Poopy after 2 years of marriage and like at least a year and like 10 months, 9 months of living together. I don't understand how this is still a new concept. But maybe it's because Chantal changes her approach to it every 3 days, because she'll get sick of this and eventually just start ordering. Oh my god, the cycle? Is it the cycle again?
And I've been surrounded by normies my whole life. So and when it comes to food, that's what I mean by normie. And so this is like a whole new thing for him. I did mention when we met because I feel it's...
See, peace and love, that's what I think. I think that those are healthy relationships. Like, I think relationships are built on trust, and I think a big part of trust is transparency. So, like, if you have things that affect your everyday life, there's no sense in not talking to your partner about it because they're going to see it eventually, and better that they actually understand a little bit of the context, especially if they're, as Chantal refers to them as normies. Like, there are people out there who don't have hard relationships with food, and then there are people who do have hard relationships with food. And sometimes that can be not difficult, but just a learning experience, I guess,
Important to be transparent with somebody, especially if you're planning on marrying them, and spending your life with them as a life partner. Husband and wife, you're a unit, you're a family unit,
Michael.
You're a couple, you go through life together, the ups and downs, and I felt it was important for him to really know what my downs were. So I did.
Again, considering the fact they'd never met each other, and then 3 weeks, not months, 3 weeks after speaking to each other on international Tinder, they decided to get married. I'm gonna say maybe you should have done a little bit more of an introduction as opposed to just this.
I did, talk a bit about how I have issues with food, and
Hey, Voodoo.
I don't think at the time he really understood the full extent of it until he lived with me, and he would,
Which again, they started living together in, was it December 2022? No, November 2022. Yeah. Okie dokie, ma'am. It's almost been 2 years. Okie dokie.
Little signs of,
It's, I mean, Chantal and her relationship with food would be an impossible thing to even, I think, even try to help with in her current situation. Not because anything's impossible, just she refuses and she cycles. Like, one day it could be all salads and chicken breasts, very rarely, and then the next day it's going to be, I mainlined 2 kilos of creamy cheese. It's like, all right, well, go. Like you often say about your, food, everybody's got to eat, and no one can control what's going in your mouth. Like, this isn't an inpatient situation type of deal.
When he would be sleeping, and then the next day there would just be some evidence of binges happening.
I'm sorry, go back on that. Are you eating in bed?
Until he lived with me, and he would, see little signs of, when he would be sleeping, and then the next day there would just be some evidence of binges happening. And I just,
Girl, after all of this time... Oh, okay. We've spoken about, secret eating in the past and stuff, and Chantal's got, a documented history of all of that. I guess the most, I don't want to say iconic, but memorable story is Chantal hiding pizza boxes in the cupboard while she was with BB, which led to their house needing to get fumigated for roaches because she just didn't take the pizza boxes out. You'd think, even after all of that, you'd think you'd have learned a lesson to, put it in a rubbish bag, take things outside. That's outside of the relationship with food stuff. That's just, stop the grossness. Take it out. Ew. Secret Squirrel, good to see you, love. Thank you very, very much for the super chat. Secret says, at this point, I don't know if I want to see her rock bottom. I think this is the only way she knows how to self-soothe, because eating can be a coping mechanism, and she's lazy and therefore never explored other ways to do it. Yeah, 100%. And I think that her rationalization of it all is it's part of the cycle. She'll have these moments of clarity. She'll say, oh, I'm only eating, normally we'll get a potato fast or a fucking grape diet or something crazy. But we're kind of firmly in the stage 2 of, I'm going to cherry pick all of the advice that I've been given and say, great, I can eat 3 meals a day. The diabetes doctor said I could do that. Cheese has protein in it, so that means I can eat as much as I want. I don't need to count calories because that'll cause me to to binge. If I restrict too hard, I'll binge. If I can have healthy takeout, then I can manage. Like, she layers on all of this kind of cherry-picked advice, and ultimately it just leads straight back to let's eat pizza gravy. Like, and ultimately, as much as I say that professional help will help, and I think it would, it's no one else's responsibility. Like, Chantal is the one, hand to mouth. Like, whether or not that's in a binge episode, or whether or not that's sitting down and doing a mukbang, there's so much going on that a team of professionals, I think, would have a really hard time, because Chantal's tied up eating with money and value and attention, and like, so it's not just Chantal's secret eating at 2 o'clock in the morning, leaving wrappers in the bed. It's also her waking up being like, right, what am I mukbanging today? I've got an hour until I turn the camera on. Let's find something to eat on camera. So there's so many emotional knots that are tied up in her relationship with food. Then you've got the health, like the physical health side of stuff. You've got the diabetes, no gallbladder, severe extreme non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, kidney function issues, like enlarged heart, double pulmonary embolisms. And like, those are the physical manifestations of like consequences of poor choices when it comes to eating. And she's using neither of those as reasons to address it. It's just, let me handball off responsibility to the person I'm living with, and I'll just, like, I'll vibe. I'll just do whatever. And then whatever turns into, oh my god, you guys, I can't function, get me my pizza.
We're going through it, and he's actually really supportive in a lot of ways.
I'm sorry, I'm 5 minutes in.
In every way, he could be. He's very encouraging, just today, throughout the day, just saying you're doing such a good job, because he knows he's very intelligent, and he learns fast. So I already feel like he knows,
It's been 2 years, Chantal. If he doesn't understand, he's never, like, it takes us, you could watch like 4 Chantal videos and see what's going on. This does not take a rocket genius.
Kind of what it would be like for me, and how hard it must be for me. So I'm glad that he can empathize with me and understand. And
not a puppy feeder.
Be patient. Like, I really, really emphasize to him, like, you really need to be patient if this is going to work, because
it's been 2 years. What do you mean patient?
This is going to be like, there's a lot of ups and downs, and it's a very arduous journey, and it's not something that everybody wants to or can take on as a partner, being a supportive partner. So
Chantal's expectation is that anybody else will handle it. She thinks that if she gets sick, there's a magic bullet. She thinks if her relationship with food is actually like something that she wants to work on, somebody else will do it. Like, unfortunately, Chantal is lazy. Like, that's not me being hyperbolic. That's not me trying to like wash away the mental health aspect of it all. Chantal is lazy. Chantal does not want to work on herself. Chantal wants someone else to do the work. And unfortunately, when you do have to do work on yourself, you like, other people can't do it for you. There does come a line in the sand where you actually have to like put on your big person pants and just like get the job done. People can hold your hand through this, that's fine, and they can support you, but ultimately you're the one who makes the decision on what you're eating, which is what makes the whole thing so hard. But so Summer Cat, sorry, thank you for being here for 19 months. Summer says this is going to go swimmingly for both of them. Yeah, I can't wait. It reminds me of that like secret vlog footage we got from Eric where Ambi's yelling at Beck about eating her cereal, Like, that's just what I imagine that looks like for Chantal. Like, she's just going to get frustrated and throw a tantrum and then order out anyway and then threaten Poopy with, like, withholding money because that's really what she's got in the situation. Yeah, it's going to go great. It's going to go amazing.
I let him control certain things now in my life. But there's a difference between like a narcissistic control, a control of asserting power over someone versus having your back. And what I'm talking about...
So why can't you say, my husband supports me? Why does it have to be, I let my husband control me? Because those are very different phrases, ma'am. And considering your history on this platform, surrounding like DV and terrible relationships, specifically with old mate, and like putting charges on him and then taking them off so you could sleep together again, and like all of that stuff. I hate the phrase that you've chosen to use. I hate this title. I think that it gives a very, like, it's very clickbaity, but it's also very, like, poor taste, obviously, Chantal. It's the wrong words. Like, it's not, if you're sitting here and saying it's not narcissistic control, it's just he's supporting me, great, say that. Use the word support, use the positive. Why you gotta call it this? It's fucking weird. Like, it's weird. It's weird and attention-seeking behavior, and quite, like, disrespectful considering all of the things that you've come online and cried about. And, like, okay. Like, she got so mad when the audience kind of conversation was about how controlling Poopy seemed at the start, right? Like, she said butt on camera and he, like, kicked her under the table, and that all seemed very, like, whoa, like, Chantal is her own person choosing to use her words, and he's, like, just stepping in here and being all like that. And then she got so upset because everybody was saying that he seems to be a bit controlling in that regard. And then she went off. She went off on all of us. How dare you all? It's a cultural thing, blah, blah, blah. I was like, girl, do you not see what you're doing? I mean, you do. You want the attention for this, but it's fucking gross. Like, grow up. Bonus Noodles, thank you for gifting 5 channel memberships. Bonus says, thank you very much for gifting to, Shell, Leonie, Candy Bat, Jamie, and Faithful. Lovely to see you all. Enjoy the emojis, and please make sure you thank the lovely and generous Bonus Noodles when you can. Thanks, mate.
What I mean control is I'm letting him control things that I have no control over. So yes, I let him control me with eating now.
Girl, that's not going to go well. A one-way ticket to fucking resentment and hate.
Ordering out. So I'm letting him help me with that. And what I mean by that specifically is I've...
Oh, you think the tongue click is a lie thing? Oh, maybe. Cuddle Cat's good to see you, mate. Thank you for the super chat. Cuddle Cat says, I sent this to the other day, but the chat was flying. Oh, Bear is happy now that his mummy's at home. Oh, cutie. Thank you so much for the shout outs to Bear in this sweet chat that also shouted out the sweet boy in text. You're welcome. I hope you're having a fabulous day, Cuddle Cat. Thank you for the support. That's very good to hear. Happy Friday from me.
Decided to show him everything I eat, everything I put in my mouth. You know, like showing him what I eat throughout the day. Anytime we eat out, it'll be together. Usually.
Girl, the showing thing would get so tired. Just write a food journal and share it if that's what you want. Like, that's fine. I could see all of that. And leaning on a supportive partner when it comes to hard things going on, I totally get that. Totally understand that. That seems relatively, like, sane. But this is insane.
Anyways, but there's no more of me just, like... turning to him and saying, hey, I'm going to order a 12-inch sub with some cookies and some chips, or I'm going to order Burger King because I want a chicken royal meal, you know?
Isn't he aware of all of this, though? Because doesn't he need to help go collect it or approve it on his phone or give directions to the delivery person? Like, this is not a new thing for him, Chantal. Why are you lying?
No more of me just, like, turning to him and saying, hey, I'm going to order a 12-inch sub with some cookies and some chips, or I'm going to order Burger King because I want a chicken royal meal, you know?
Go, you mukbang that shit anyway. Like, we all know you're eating it. Poopy knows you're eating it. That's not a secret. Rocio, thank you for the super chat. Love Rocio says, I'm 2 weeks post-op and I've already lost 10 pounds. Awesome, that's great. Congrats. Only by understanding that now I have limitations that my life is more important than full-fat dairy. I will never understand people like Foodie. No, I understand elements of, like, Foodie's relationship with food, but a lot of the other stuff is way out of my understanding. But congrats. I hope you're feeling good. And Shah, thank you for being here for 18 months. Shah says she expected him to be her nurse. Get inpatient care. Agreed. Or just start with therapy. Like, start with something that can actually give you skills, teach you manageable like situations. But Chantal will never, because she thinks she knows better than everyone else. This is what happens when you think you're too smart, you know? Chantal thinks she's smarter than everyone else. Chantal thinks she's the only person in the world who could understand her own relationship with food and all of that stuff. But in reality, a lot of people could understand it, but they're never gonna, like, she's defiant until the bitter end. So her defiance doesn't allow her to be taught anything. Which is why she hates a lot of the people in the community as well, because they give, like, relatively insightful, like self-aware and driven, like, responses to problems that Chantal has. And she said, no one understands my relationship with food like I do. No one understands what I've been through. No one understands how hard it is for me. It's like, girl, like, a lot of people have not the same, but at least elements that are similar. And if you don't get that, you'll never get that. Like, you're gonna be controlled by Poopy and what food you can have, and in 4 days' time, you're gonna throw the world's biggest temper tantrum. You're gonna stomp your feet so hard, I will feel it.
More of that. And so far, so good. Honestly, I'm not even, like, craving junk food right now. Not fast food, because I got really bad food poisoning in Thailand. At least I think that's what it was, after eating some pretty disgusting junk. It was like...
Which you ate 3 times? 3 times? 2 times? 3 times? Buttered noodles, thank you very... Oh, sorry, bonus noodles, not buttered noodles. Thank you for the super chat. Bonus says, control does not equal help. Go see a mental health professional for food and relationships with everyone in her life. 100% down. Like, that's... Yeah. Chantal thinks giving up control in that regard is the easy out, though. Like, that... I can see her logic there. She's like... I'm not gonna, you know what, someone else can tell me what to eat. But she won't take that from a healthcare professional. She won't be told what diet she should be eating. She won't be told what food service would be beneficial to her. She's like, no, Poopy only, because Poopy is my rock, Poopy is my support, and Poopy will permit me to eat anything I want because he's under my thumb because I pay for him. So that's gonna work. Living, laughing, crafting, thank you for gifting your channel membership as well. Welcome or welcome back to E. James. Good to see you. Enjoy the emojis. Please make sure you thank the lovely Living.
Really nasty, like, I don't know. I was eating, like, a whole bunch of cheese popcorn. I was eating, like, this place called Potato Corner, like, fried chicken skins.
Girl, we know, we were fatty, there.
Really,
we were there.
Like, food that's not, like, food products. I don't consider that, like, nutritious food. So I was really
You've
sick.
never given a shit about nutritious food, Chantal. Well, actually, no, this is a bit like, this is stage 1 of the cycle. This is pulling out some anecdotal, like, minerals and vitamins references.
Like, after, you know, eating or overdoing it on junk food like that, it was just really toxic to my body, and it had a really negative effect on my health, on my...
She shat herself twice.
You know, I became really ill, and though I'm feeling a lot better now, I still have that, like, when I think of certain foods, this particularly fried, fatty, non-nutritious food, I feel ill. And, you know, I'm very thankful for that right now.
Lukewarm, I agree. I don't think it was food poisoning. I think it was exactly as you say. I think it was about 3 of her organs saying, enough! No more!
Because I don't know if I had that feeling, if I would be so strong, if I would have that willpower, the same willpower. I don't know. I don't know if that will ever come back. I'm sure at some point I will get cravings for certain things.
Willpower is like a muscle. You need to exercise it to, like, grow its strength. It doesn't just come and go. You can have a light bulb moment. You can have one of those, like, oh shit, and maybe this is it. Doubtful. But maybe this is it, where Chantal's, like, stomach and, like, colon and probably heart are trying to send all of the signals up to the brain to say, we're in need of help. Stop. Please stop.
There's still things that, you know, I think I would overindulge on if I had in the house. So
So we don't bring them in the house, Chantal. What have we learned?
A healthier grocery order, you know, this time, and
possibly,
so
George.
I just, basically, when I mean, like, controlling, I mean more like being really accountable to him.
Right.
Yeah, I'm basically just holding myself more accountable than before.
Can't even look at the camera. Liza Minnelli.
I had the mentality that I don't, you know, really need to be accountable to anyone but myself. But I think I need to surrender that idea for now, that I can be, that I can control, that I'm in control, because I'm not, you know. And I know that I do need to be, but I do need some help with that at first. And
she needs several hobbies and less like, she should only keep, like, one type of cheese per hobby in her fridge. That would be a good start, actually. That would be helpful.
Being as my husband is like, he's my husband. He's my...
MB, thank you for the super chat, love. MB says she loves playing funny pokers. She does. P.S. Sweet Bruce has now moved to a lovely little wall nook. Ah, say hi to Bruce. Thank you for the super chat, MB. And Living, thank you for the super chat as well. Living says, Poppy, I will be live later tonight to cover more retro foodie. Oh, and Shani. Oh, rough. While crafting, obviously. I hope to see you all there. Thanks, Living. I hope you have a great stream when you get there. Thank you for the super chat.
You know, he's my...
a non-food related hobby. That's what I meant. Yes.
He protects me. He cares about me. He really cares about my health. And so, yeah, I mean, you know, being 40 and having diabetes, type 2 diabetes, you know, being with someone so unhealthy who can't do anything. And I don't want to be that way anymore either. I want to live life and I want to do a lot in life. So, yeah, I've just been trying to also keep very busy. I find that I've just been really trying to, like, you know, organize my home more, keep it very clean, which as somebody who's very sedentary, rigorous housework is a lot of exercise for me. And I find it takes me a longer time than it would a fit person to complete.
I'm still waiting on the, like, Chantal, if you're about this life, great. Why don't you make a, like, what I do in a day vlog? Like, it feels like that's just such a natural piece of content to create. Because that's the other thing. We all have to recognize that if Chantal's serious about this, she won't mukbang. She won't ever stop mukbanging. She's not serious about this. But if she were, she'd find other, like, things to do to create content. If it's like my 330 LB life or whatever, like, clean the house with me, I'm sure people would be engaged in that. So let's make some the content that's not about food, if this is actually the case, but I don't think it is.
Complete their whole house of housework, so I kind of just, like, do it in parts. And, you know, it's exercise for me for sure. You know, like, lugging things around, mopping, bending, cleaning the fridge and stuff like that. It's good exercise for me.
That poor fridge must have so many, like, liquefied vegetables in it. Just a rotation.
So, I've just been trying to keep my mind busy with, like, planning for future things, like thinking of, you know, things I'd like to do, hobbies I'd like to maybe take up. But I'm...
Hobbies? What hobbies are we picking up, Chantal? Oh, happy day. She does hate crafting, though, so they can't be crafty hobbies. But, hobbies! Cold Brew, thank you for the super chat, love. I appreciate it. We're on our way to Everest. I don't think we're ever getting to Everest, but we're on our way!
Just been trying to keep my mind busy with, like, planning for future things. Like
she does love to plan.
Of, you know, things I'd like to do, hobbies I'd like to maybe take up.
Like what? What are the hobbies, Chantal? What are the hobbies?
But I'm really just focused on...
I think, you know what, she should get into diamond painting or something.
Trying to get healthy and just taking it day by day. And that's what I'm doing. And with Salah, my husband's help as well. So, is my husband...
Macaroni art.
I mean, Salah's not an almond husband, which for those of you who don't know, an almond husband is
What the fuck is that?
Basically a partner who is very conscious around food, like very...
Almond husband? Oh, is that meant to be a reference to, like, an almond mum? I have seen that phrase. Almond husband.
Health conscious around food and stuff like that. I think anyways, I heard that term recently and I was like, yeah, he's not, but he prefers, like, he does have a...
Yeah, that's why it's like an almond parental figure, not an almond partner. Because, you know, what the fuck?
Conscious around food, like very health conscious around food and stuff like that. I think anyways, I heard that term recently and I was like, yeah, he's not, but he prefers, like, he does have a sweet tooth, so he likes to eat sweets, but...
Yeah, didn't you buy, like, 64 candy bars for him and guests? And also all of those chocolate croissants, weren't they his?
He doesn't overindulge.
Oh, and what about those boxes of ice cream that you burnt through in 2 days? Were those also his? his?
Like he'll have like a chocolate and then that'll be it, you know? He won't have like 3, 4, 5 chocolate bars, 2, 3, 4, 5. He'll just have like one. And
3, 4, 5 chocolate bars is a lot, Foodie. That's a lot of sugar.
he'll eat his meals and that'll be it. And sometimes he only eats like once a day. You know, if I make him a really big healthy breakfast in the morning, that's all he'll really eat, and then he'll have maybe a chocolate bar at night. But he prefers like real home cooked food over ordering out any day, and he prefers to eat healthy. So
match made in heaven, really.
that's good, because if I was with a partner who was just like me, we would be, or somebody who...
Boop, I didn't. That sounds iconic though. Oh my goodness.
That's good, because if I was with a partner who was just like me, we would be, or somebody who encouraged me to eat unhealthy, or somebody who was like,
Tommy,
you know, I don't mind that you eat that. You're perfect the way you are, babe. I love you the way you are. And that's not okay, because that's very dangerous. And at that point, that's where, you know, enabler status comes.
I think the hard thing with Chantal is that Chantal does throw tantrums. Chantal demands to get her own way. And I think Chantal... Actually, I think Ambi's worse for that. I think Ambi kind of overrides a lot of her partner's food choices. Reflecting back on, like, the old mate stuff as the most, like, recent relationship outside of this loophole marriage, like, she was around there every other day eating baba ganoush and, you know, allegedly stick and blow up her nose. So, I mean, who knows? who knows? But I assume that having Chantal as a partner, woof, what a concept. Having Chantal as a partner, the default would be takeout, because, like, we've seen the way that Poopy and Chantal talk about, like, when dinner comes in and all of that stuff, and, like, he's on board just as much as, like, he's defaulting to eating takeout because Chantal wants takeout. Anyway.
But, you know, it's not his responsibility for me, for, you know, I'm responsible for what I put in my mouth at the end of the day. So it's, you know.
Correct, you said it.
But I will give him the go-ahead to hold me accountable, basically. Hi, baby girl. So...
But this video could have literally just been, my husband will support me.
I give him that control.
Also, this didn't need to be public. This could have been a private setup. Sorry.
I give him, go in the, you know, in the driver's seat in that sense. So, because he did say...
Voodoo, thank you for the super chat, love. Voodoo says, I wonder what would happen if Poopy demanded she cook him actual healthy meals on the regular. Would she revolt to, or be a demure trad wife? She's not interested in cooking. That's why she appreciated Old Mate so much, because he cooked for her. Well, cooked. Yeah. I mean, neither of these people are interested in cooking. Like, Poopy seems to live on a diet of dino nuggets and, like, eggs and mortadella. And Chantal's not about the cookery.
You know, Salah said something to me before that was just really, like, made me rethink everything about, you know, accepting, your partner accepting you for how you are. And he said, you know, I'm your husband, I'm your family now. Like, if I love you, truly love you, I'm worried about your health. Like, if I didn't love you, I wouldn't care.
You've had this conversation with him and vicariously with us for the last 2 years. What are you talking about?
You know, so, you know, he does have that mentality that you're beautiful, but I don't want you to die. Like, I want you to be here for a long time. I want you to travel with me. I want you to, you know, just do a lot of things with me, do a lot of things together, and not be unhealthy, and so have a better quality of life, you know.
Poopy never said that.
Hurts
Poopy might have said some of this because, you know, she is funding his lifestyle, so he wouldn't want to let that go. And also, any travel in the future has got to be with Chantal.
In pain, with the sciatica and everything else, and then just also, like, you know, not being able to breathe from walking, or just this and that. So I'm going to choose my heart.
God, we are terrible people when we point it out, but when Chantal addresses it...
And I'm really going to try to keep it that focusing on this journey, basically. So that's what I plan on doing. Staying on track. Hopefully it works out. We'll see. But, so yes.
I mean, I'll be surprised if she doesn't go live today and or admits to the chocolate being gone and half of the cheese being consumed, but okay.
So he's a lot more involved than before. You know, before I didn't really want to hear it, and I would actually be defensive with him about it and kind of just...
And the same thing is going to happen the first time you're told no, girl. You can't handle that word.
Just like anyone else, like, kind of like, I got this. I just want to handle it on my own. I just want to, you know, I don't want you to criticize me for what I'm eating. I don't want to hear it. Like, I just want to eat in peace. Like, just leave me alone. Just let me indulge on my Burger King and don't have...
Oh, God. Oh, God, what a terrible relationship. Ah.
I don't want to hear it. Like, I just want to eat in peace. Like, just leave me alone. Just let me indulge on my Burger King and don't have any opinion on it. You know? So...
Girl, you need therapy. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I've been saying that for fucking years. Everybody has. My guy. Like... Also, a supportive partner will find ways to have that conversation about, like, you taking care of yourself versus specifically, like, nitpicking and critiquing things like a meal that you're in the middle of eating. But yeah, girl, it sounds like you got some hate in your heart for that conversation.
You know, I don't want you to criticize me for what I'm eating. I don't want to hear it. Like, I just want to eat in peace. Like, just leave me alone. Just let me indulge on my Burger King and don't have any opinion on it.
And I feel like that's kind of a holdover as well, not just in relationships, but probably in relationships actually all the way from childhood. Like, I'm not a professional. I'm not going to unpack anything about Foodie's childhood at all, but like that type of defensiveness and resentment when it comes to people being perhaps a little too forward in their thoughts about your own relationship with food. I get a sense that has been built in Foodie for a very long time.
You know, so, but, no, I'm going to totally let him criticize me for that. I'm totally going to let him criticize me, and I'm totally going to let him tell me no, and I'm totally going to let him control this part of my life that I have no control over.
This is going to be such a fucking tantrum.
So.
This is a bad idea. This is a terrible idea. This is like we have inpatient at home. This sounds fucking terrible. This is a bad idea. Bad idea, bears. Also, she's got enough cheese in her fridge stocked for the next week. Well, it's Foodie, 3 days, but you know what I mean.
So yeah, I just wanted to explain a bit about that because a lot of people ask me and wonder, like, what's your husband's role in your eating, eating disorder recovery and your food addiction recovery and your...
Ma'am, I'm so sorry. You're not in recovery. You're not. You've barely taken a fucking step. You've acknowledged that you've got a problem. That's the first step, but you've acknowledged that for the last like 7 years on the internet, and this is where we've gotten. You are not in recovery for shit. You are not actively working on management. You're not finding ways to process. God, I missed the word process. You're not. This is all lip service. Oh, but you guys, I haven't touched junk food in 4 days. How much cheese did you eat in the last 12 hours, Chantal? Answer me that. Just because it's groceries, you think that it's not fulfilling the same need as a double stacker chicken royale or fried potato in whatever format. Like, girl, you bought like a shop's worth of cheese. Cheese is one of your favorite food groups. It will activate the exact same everything as a hamburger. Like, those mangoes aren't doing shit. But okay. Alexis, thank you for the super chat, love. Alexis says, happy to catch you live. I'm going on a short road trip to Canada tomorrow. Oh my god, enjoy with friends. Any trips for solo activities in the car? I Spy is a classic. A nap if you're not driving. That's always a good one. Just make sure your most musically tasteful person is in charge of the radio. Or actually make that your music buddy's responsibility and tell them you want to listen to a whole heap of songs and albums and artists you've never heard before. Exploring new music on a road trip is that's one of my favorite things. Because I get melodies and stuff stuck in my head, and then an hour later, if it's still stuck in my head, I'll ask oh, who was that? Who was that? And who sang that? That's a good one. Oh, pillows.
Your weight loss journey. What is your husband's opinion on this? Yeah, so that's basically what it is. He's never nasty. He's just supportive and...
Shaw, you said the opposite.
he's never nasty about it or, We joke together, which is totally fine. I'm not really uptight. I'm not an uptight person about that. Like, I'm just, I have a sense of humor about my life, my situation a lot of the time. So you guys know, like, I like to laugh at myself sometimes.
Do you?
Depends on my mood, I guess. But yeah, so that's about it. That's all I wanted to say. Just so you guys know the dynamic we have when it comes to that, this particular topic. And yeah, so inshallah, this will be the time that I can finally make these lifestyle changes. And I feel different. About food. I just feel right now like I really just
that anxiety was a health scare.
Longer want to harm my body, but I just do need that support.
But we've been here. I feel like we're here every 3 months with Foodie. Like, it doesn't change.
From him, and I feel lucky that he like understands. Like he's like younger than me, and he's not familiar with this kind of situation. And
even though they've been living together in a happy loophole marriage for 2 years, he has no idea about Chantal's relationship with food. What a fucking lie!
And, he could have been.
Girl, you said that he watched your YouTube content before you got married. He said you knew everything from the peeps to the hidden pizza boxes. Peeps to pizza boxes. A Chantal story. You said he knew everything. Oh, but he didn't realize my relationship with food. Okay, girl. All right. Well, surprise.
Nope, I'm out of here. So I'm happy that he's like on board. He's very, very, very supportive of.
Of course he is. You're his job.
Me, and he's very, very doting and involved in my healthcare. So
involved. Oh, God, girl, I can't.
Yes. Anyway, other than that, I'll have some health updates in the future. Some weigh-ins and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyways, thank you for listening, guys, and I'll see you in the next.
What's the first weigh-in?
Bye.
Maybe today. Who knows? All right, chat. Like I said, it's a short one today. I appreciate you all so much for hanging out. Thanks for being with me this morning. I hope you have a great day. Please make sure you brush your teeth, wash your hair and face, get your steps in, hug a loved one, have a snack, a nap, take care of yourself. Don't be a dumpster fire on the internet. Be honest and transparent in your relationships with your loved ones. Lean on them for support. Don't I let my husband control me. Fuck off, Chantal. For those of you on the rewatch, thank you for your comments, opinions, and eyeballs. Chat, if you'd like to hit the like button on the way out, I'd very much appreciate that. And I will see you all in the next